We're here today to increase the amount of fiber in Portland's diet. I think it goes without saying that the internet has become an everyday existence, vital to the everyday existence of citizens and businesses across the globe. Its evolution has been unpredictable, but its innovations have changed the dynamics of our economy, creativity, and the way that we connect with our family, friends, and our community. Yet, in one of the most industrialized nations in the world, the United States remains to be 32nd in the world in providing high-speed internet access, right next to Slovenia. This is not news to this City Council, as you've exhibited over a decade of leadership in trying to provide Portland with the needs of the 21st century, providing this infrastructure. Much like the sustainability movement, this is one of those forward-thinking issues where Portland leads the way and the rest of the nation follows. That might sound tremendously smug coming from a Portlander, but when FCC Commissioner Jonathan Adelstein was here visiting with Commissioner Saltzman just 2 years ago, he stated just that. And just yesterday, the FCC finally took action under the leadership of President Obama's new appointment to accept their new broadband plan, which mirrors many of the concepts that this City Council has long since adopted. Today, we bring those concepts, studies, and policy goals into action by applying to Google to be their testbed community for the next generation of high-speed internet.
Thank you, Mayor and Council members. David Olson of Office of Cable and Franchise Management. You've heard from me once or twice on this subject and have been very patient and gracious. But this is very exciting stuff. When I was last before you and when the Council had a discussion of this, we talked about Portland being the hole in the fiber donut. That is, we are surrounded by fiber in the suburban communities, but there is absolutely little or no prospect of our incumbent telephone and cable companies running fiber to the home here in the center, where it's most needed for to be economically competitive and to get to the next generation of broadband, as we have discussed with this Council many times. This Council is aware and should absolutely take credit for being, as Brandon said, at the forefront of this issue, not just last year, not just 5 years ago, but for nearly a dozen years. This Council has been on top of this issue, ahead of everybody. And our bona fides, our CV on this issue in response to Google, in my opinion, this is not a remote response. We have everything in this city, including the history and commitment, and a history that no other city in the country can match. Nobody, in terms of responding to this. We are shovel-ready. We have the information. We have the commitment. We have the history. We have the policies ahead of the nation. I don't personally regard this as a remote possibility. I think this is the place. This is the time. This is the partnership, and this is the Council that can get this done. You know the history. Brendan mentioned the National Broadband Plan the FCC announced yesterday. With all respect, we love them. They're our partners in many of this. But you know, that broadband plan is all about getting more wireless spectrum out there, getting more TV gadgets, and giving a lot more money to the telephone and cable incumbents in this country that have caused the USA to slip to, what, 30th, 20th in the world in broadband in the last 10 years from a position of first place 10 years ago. And a lot of it is about getting more tweets in the truck lanes of broadband. In other words, about moving the marbles so the USA stays in the truck lanes and not in the fast lanes where the future is. That's what Google is proposing. That's what we've always said we have to have. You have to have speeds on the internet that are truly game changers, landscape changers, that change the entire equation for applications known and unknown. That's what this is about. That's what this Council has been saying for years.
Mayor and Commissioners, I'm Mary Beth Henry. As part of my duties with the city, I have the honor to represent all of Oregon cities on the Oregon Broadband Advisory Council and am a board member of the National Association of Telecommunications Officers and Advisors. It's a national organization of cities promoting rich connectivity among people, institutions, and information. The Google Fiber Project is really about connectivity, making sure that we're all connected. Just 2 days ago, on behalf of 18 partners of Connect Portland, I pressed the button to submit the grant proposal for a Broadband Technology Opportunity Program grant that is all about connectivity. The grant will address critical needs for broadband access and training for our most vulnerable populations. We are actively working to address the digital divide, and we will increase our chances for success if Google decides to deploy its fiber project here in Portland. Many of us realize that the quality of Portland's information and communications technology will increasingly define our future economic opportunity. Reflected in increasing economic opportunity is the value of inclusion. To this end, we have reached out to include not only a wide variety of Portlanders for help in landing Google, but we have reached out to the other 4 cities in Oregon that hope to attract Google as well. We've reached out to the governor's office and to the Broadband Advisory Council. We are saying to Google, we here in Oregon would love you to pick one or more of our cities for your fiber test bed, because we understand if Google picks any community in Oregon, all of Oregon is a winner. The cities of Eugene, Gresham, Hood River, Pendleton, and Portland have all agreed to commit to working with each other in whatever way necessary to support a Google deployment in Oregon. Portlanders have long been pioneers of innovation, open source telecommunications, and information technologies, and will readily engage in an opportunity to deploy, develop, and utilize Google's visionary broadband network. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Skip Newberry. I work as on the mayor's economic development team. A couple things I wanted to point out today. First, starting with Google wants to demonstrate that this type of investment is going to produce a pretty quick return in a short period of time. And I just want to touch upon a couple of examples that I think make Portland particularly strong as a sort of living laboratory for innovation. The first thing I want to point out is that Portland has a very large number of home-based businesses. With many core business functions migrating to the web, this means that home-based businesses stand to benefit greatly from this type of an initiative. Examples include video, graphic design, e-commerce, and software development businesses. Additionally, as more people are able to work from home, this has a significant impact. Businesses can reduce overhead, increase worker productivity, and significantly reduce the carbon footprint of their employees. Furthermore, employees are increasingly free to live anywhere, and this is the new knowledge-based economy. And Portland offers a very attractive value proposition in terms of quality of life. We also have a number of community partners who stand ready to assist us in helping to close the gap between those who have access to the internet and those who do not. If we're selected by Google, one example is we could partner with One Economy and its Digital Connectors program here in Portland, which helps to train local youth, helping them to develop leadership and workplace skills so that they can help connect their neighbors and their friends to the internet and provide training and support. If we can provide low-income residents with access to computers and the training that they need to take full advantage of online learning opportunities, we can do our part to help reduce the digital divide. And finally, I just want to mention another news item that went out today. Today is the official launch date of Portland's Civic Apps Contest. And it's a software design contest that is regional in its approach. We've partnered with TriMet and the county and Portland Public Schools, and we're trying to make it as transparent and open to the public and accessible as possible to the public so that people can submit ideas for new software applications and mobile apps that they would like to see developed that take advantage of public data sets that the city and these other partner organizations have now made available. This is a perfect example of what's possible in a city like Portland that's known for its openness and collaboration.